Alright, these standoffs are giving me a little bit of trouble. Let's get this put down a little protection before I put the board on that case. Alright. That brass standoff is stuck to that screw. Right there. Let's see if I can't get him loose. So pliers on one side, screwdriver on the other. My goodness. Alright. I'm weighing my options here on how to mount this. Get him down like that. I made it a short screw for that. And I found one, if it works. Little short job there. Drop it in the hole, see if it tightens down. And it does. Motherboard's still loose. I don't care for that. But I don't think we have too many options. Let's go with that and see if it's see if it works and stays stable. Taking out that port cover, because I'm going to install this BLB VGA card to the closest slot to the processor. That gives the fastest response time and least amount of resistance for the video signal to the card. Just making sure the card's all the way down in the socket. And we will screw him down. There we go. Up next, we're going to put the sound card. We're going to give the video card a little bit of space there. Put this 2 slots above the video card. And that slot right there. We'll tighten him down too. 2 spaces above that, we'll install the multi-IO card with the floppy and IDE controllers. Get in. I'm going to bend this out just a little bit to fit into the little hole that's down there. There we go. Alright. Should have run the cables before putting these cards in, I think, but I think we'll be alright. There we go. Now, to see if this works, we're going to install these. These are the Atx motherboard power leads. I said ATX, these are just standard AT. When you put these in, I would say they have to be wiggled, but most of the little nubs have been broken off. I'm not sure. But the blacks have to stay together, and these pins go on the outside of the plastic wall. I don't know if you can see that down there. Kind of a wall in the back of the plug socket. Press them in with all the blacks on the inside, all the black wires on the inside, just like that. Before we go any further, I'm going to connect the video and the power cable. Taking the power cable from my bench power supply over there. Lost the speaker. Plug in that power supply. The fan's not yet connected, but that processor will be fine for this short test anyway. Nothing's happening. Power supply is making kind of a groaning noise. Let's disconnect him from the board. See if it even comes on. That is a negative. Well, after a little bit of testing, I don't know if this power supply needs more of a load than this machine is going to give it, or if it's just failed. It's kind of acting like it's shorting on something. I don't think the motherboard is shorted, but it performs this even when not connected to the motherboard. Just makes a noise and does nothing. So we're going to go with another option. I'm disconnecting everything from the power supply. Okay, to remove an AT power supply, just much like an ATX, you have to get all of the cables disconnected from everything inside the case. But you also have the power switch lead to deal with. That power supply switch is connected directly to mains through the power supply, which I have it disconnected, thank goodness. It's screwed in just behind this front panel. Actually, it's screwed to the front panel. Which, that's fine too. I'm going to pop this front panel off. Somehow. I'm going to need to know how if I'm going to retrowrite this thing later. All right. There's the switch. It has 4 leads. And in my experience, they're on there pretty good. There's some black marks on that lead. That one too. And that one 3. Yeah, it's got some black char in there. Can't really see inside the connectors. Wonder what's happened there. Has the switch been arcing and causing issues? I don't know. But let's get this power supply out of here. Like any standard ATX power supplies, it has 4 screws holding it in place. Just standard. These are the coarser threaded case screws. And number 4. pretty sure this power supply worked in the past, but he's not working now. Guarantee lapses after removal. March 17th, 1994. I think the guarantee is lapsed just from time. I'll pop this open later and have a look, but not right now. For a power supply, I'm going to use this. What is it? Me PC says 775 watt. Again, I doubt that it's 775 watt. And even the sticker's coming off. This is an eBay cheapie, but it has been working with this motherboard up until this point. Before we put it in the case, we're going to test it right here. This is an Atx Power Supply, but there are these adapters that are fairly inexpensive. We found on eBay for a couple dollars. Well, 5 or 6. That adapts to ATX. This one with all its nubs on it. And with connectors that you connect to the AT power switch. Let's connect these again with the black cables or the black wires together on those connectors. Alright, with power connected, still need to connect it to a power switch. This is a wonderful opportunity to test the power switch on this case. Snake these through here. And to connect this, these two connections here just need to come into contact. And to do that, you just put one in the front of the AT switch and one in the back on the same side. And then power on. Getting nothing out of that power supply too. Let's disconnect it from the motherboard here and see if it gives us any signs of life. Not even a little bit. That was the panel to my main computer dropping. I wonder if that switch is just bad. Come here, pliers. using my test bed AT switch, both on one side. Maybe that's not how you do it. Do it like that. Power supply is off. Because I am a doofus. Alright, let's try this. Power supply's on. Quiet, but it's on. Alright, let's connect it to this switch again and see. I'm pretty sure I had the power supply switched on when I tried it this last time, but I could be wrong. I don't know. Power supply came right on. That's awesome. Saves me a lot of work. Mostly of getting that switch out of this case. Alright, let's try it after we connect the motherboard. On. Okay, yeah, something's going on here. Alright, let's get this board out of here. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but hope I didn't break this board. But this wouldn't be one of my videos without some sort of problem, it seems like. Okay. One card. Two card. Three card. Take that screw out. I said come out. There we go. Then out of there. Don't see anything strange going on there. Well, let's move him out of the way. We'll place this board down. hold the board up. We're going to put the video card I intend to use on this system in the slot I intend to use it in. And my post analyzer card. I soldered this wire on so we can connect this to the speaker header so that this speaker will give us any beep codes. Pop that in the old YSA slot. Attach that there. Alright, I have it set up here on the bench. Let's see what happens. Nothing. Postcard just flashed and nothing. How curious. Maybe it's because I was an idiot. I think that processor was in there the wrong way around. It's booting just fine. And after all that I said about putting the processor in the right way, I go and put it in the wrong way. Well, it's a relief that it still posts and boots. Thank goodness for short circuit protection on power supplies, huh? Alright, let's bring the case back up here. We'll see if we have any better luck this next time. Okay, since I think I've found the problem, I have the old AT power supply back up. Have it reconnected to its switch. We'll put it on this motherboard right here, and we'll see if anything happens. I'm mostly going to listen for beep codes. I keep hitting my camera. This is quite a mess of a setup here. Alright. I think that should do it. It should beep as a warning for no video card. That's a beep for no video card. And that AT power supply seems to work just fine. That's a relief. Alright, let me disconnect this. I'll put it all back in the case and then I'll get back with you. Alright, we got the motherboard mounted. I got all the cables here. This case had a 3-position switch for the turbo switch, probably to send a signal for when it's in turbo and when it's not. But this motherboard only has 2 pins for that, and when the pins are jumpered together, it's running at the full speed, and when they're separated, when that connection is open, it's running at its compatibility speed, the slower speed that it could go at. So I set it up where it will run faster when the button's pushed in, because that just makes more sense to me, and left the other pin tied up and taped off. Alright, let's see if it works after we get it in the case. This will be the first time it's worked in the case. Power supply came on, we got a beep, and we have video. That's fantastic. Alright, let's power him off. Let's connect some cables. First is a floppy cable. This will go to a controller card, which, where did I put that thing? Here it is. There he is. Okay, first I'm going to put this. It has kind of this dotted, bunch of reddish pink dots along one side. That's to symbolize pin 1, which on this card is on the top right here. Not sure if you can see that. There we go. And for IDE, because this compact flash to IDE adapter, it's very much the same story, with the dotted pink side indicating pin 1, which is on the back side of this card. Well, I guess the front side, because this faces the back. Plug that in just like so. And we'll put this in the one down from the memory sockets, because otherwise it'll collide with the 30-pin memory that's in the case. Alright, here we go. There's that. Next is the sound card. This Creative Sound Blaster 16, model CT2940. Looks like made in 1994. That's spot on for the rest of this machine. Here we go. Let's tighten him down. Maybe we can get through this before the battery dies on this camera. It's giving me the warning light. This camera sure doesn't last too long on a battery, but I guess I have been trying to record little bits of video for about the past 3 hours. Alright, on a floppy cable, there's usually a twist in it, like this right here. The A drive is what's beyond the twist. Put that on just like so. With this pin 1, just like on the card, I'll go right in there. Alright, let's make sure it boots up and everything works just fine.